The old Scout here, even though he may be a little squirt, he's genetically hardwired as a hunter. And that means if we run across an animal like a rabbit, he's going to go after it. The rabbits don't go too far. The real test is if he gets after a deer or an elk, then he could go for miles. I lost him in a blizzard one time and he didn't come home until midnight. Thought for sure I'd lost my dog. So I'm going to show you how not to lose your dog, if you do, how to find it, and how to control him. So he's all ready to go. Let's get going. Alright, he's on the trail or something. I can hear him over there. Alright, he's hot on the trail over here. And when he gets like this, there's no calling him back. I could scream until my lungs wear out. And he's going to stay on that trail till he either catches that rabbit or tires out. Now, right now, he's not too far away. I don't think it's a very recent trail, so maybe we'll let him get out there a little bit farther next time. But right now, he's only 59 feet away. And you can hear him over there. It was off to my right. So I got a feeling it's going to be more than 85 feet here in a minute. Now he's out to 34 yards. He'll probably go even further than that. He's over there in the woods somewhere. I can't see him. But he's definitely got something. Alright, he's further away. He's only out there 66 yards right now. But like I say, I can call him until the cows come home. He ain't gonna respond. Scout! Come here! Scout! Alright, so the way we're going to break his train concentration is, this thing does a couple of things. One thing it does is it makes a beep in his collar. And he knows from experience that if I beep that 3 or 4 times and he doesn't come running, then he's going to get a little shock. So you've got a button here and that just gives a tone. This button gives a tone and a shock. He doesn't like that shock. So whenever he gets hit by that, his first reaction is to go somewhere where it's safe, which is with me. So he's going to come home. So he's 73 yards out, over there somewhere. We're going to go ahead and give him a little buzz here. It's not going to hurt him. All it's going to do is make a tone in his collar, and we'll see if he gets any closer. You still hear him? So he's 80 yards away now. We're going to hit this button and see if he gets any closer. Alright, he's 69 yards. No need to beep him again. We'll watch the numbers count down as he gets closer. 47 yards. Shows him back here now. That's not where he's at. Oh, there he goes. Just needed to think a minute. 52 yards. I'm going to go ahead and beep him again, get him coming. And he should show up right over here somewhere. There he comes. 43. 58 feet. Now this thing takes his position once every 5 seconds or so, so it takes a little bit to catch up. You could see that just by calling him, that doesn't work. But when I give him a little beep, he's conditioned to know that if he doesn't get his little butt back here, he's going to get a shock, and he doesn't like it. It doesn't take very long to train a dog this way. I'm no professional dog trainer, but you only have to hit him 1 or 2 times, and you don't want to hit him with the full capability of this thing. It's selectable so that you can, it's going to be difficult to see, but if you push this thing right here, I've got it set on 15. I don't know what it goes up to, but you can decrease that or increase it. And all you want to do when you're testing this thing out is set it until you get a reaction out of the dog. If you hit the shock button and nothing happens, then move up a number. Keep going until you get a little yelp out of him. And I don't think it hurts him. I think it just surprises him more than anything, although I wouldn't want to put it on myself and try it out. So he's gone again, as usual. So he's 57 yards that way, which is the way we're going. So we'll just let him hunt over there a little bit and we'll go catch up with him. So the range of this thing is variable. It depends on the terrain you're in. Up here in these rolling mountains that we've got here in northern Arizona, it's probably 2 or 3 miles, but it could be more than that if you're in a desert or somewhere where you don't have a lot of obstacles. Now, what's happening is the GPS that's in his collar is receiving time signals from satellites in outer space. And I could tell you how that works, but basically it works pretty good. So that's not a problem with distance, because that machine he's got in his collar will tell you where he is anywhere in the world, as will this tell me where I'm at. Not only is it keeping track of where the dog is, it's keeping track of where I've been. I lost him one time and he actually got out of range, but I went back to the last place that he was and it picked him up again. And then it was a matter of an extended trek through the hills to find him. And when I did find him, I realized I hadn't paid a whole heck of a lot of attention to where I'd been. I also intend on finding my dog. So, simple matter to use the track back function on this thing here to find the ranger and where the water was and get home. So, the communication to the collar is limited to about 5 miles, maybe even less. If he goes out of range, it'll show where he last was. Maybe you can buzz over there and pick him up again before you lose your dog. Right now he's 58 yards. He's tracking a rabbit. The real test, if before the evening's over with and this little video is complete, if we find a deer, because the rabbits don't go very far. They run a little bit and run under holes or sticks or whatever where he can't get to them. But if he gets after a deer, then I need to get him back quick, because he could go for miles and miles. That's happened before. So he's got something. He wouldn't be barking like that unless he did. And that's, again, pretty much the way we're going. So we'll buzz over there and see what he's got. Been a good year for rabbits, but they've kind of dwindled out. And I think the coyotes might have something to do with that. We don't get enough of them to make a dent in the rabbit population, but that's part of the reason this is here. If I hear coyotes, Scout is fast and he's furious, but he's no match for a coyote. So if I don't let him get more than about 200 yards away. He's 131 yards away right now. Turn the screen on here, let you see it. So he's over there, 141 yards away now, so we better get going before he gets too far gone. All right, I'm hearing something I don't like. I don't know whether it's coyotes or what it is, but he's 230 yards away now. I'm going to call him back in. That's further than I want him to be. No, 216, 211. He's headed this way, 207. He's running. I'm going to shock him because he's further away than I want him to be, and he's not making time back here like I want him to. So I want to get him right on back here. All right, now he's 158 yards. We've done this so many times, he should know where I am. I don't have the buggy running. Usually he can hear that, but we've been down this road so many times rabbit hunting that he should know where I am. 117 yards. He's on his way back. 109. 99. And he's going to come right down this road. Cat! I'll yell so he'll know where I am. There he is. Good dog. All right, that worked just like it was supposed to work. He was a good 200 yards over there. Something's going on over there. I don't know whether that's other dogs barking. I think it is. They hear him and they want to go hunting with him, I guess. But I don't like him to get that far away where I can't see him, so we called him in. All right, let's see what else we can get into. All right, we're going to coast down this hill. Scout's going to patrol the bottoms of these trees where he's have to find a rabbit. Maybe we'll get one. If there's going to be any, they'll be right down in here. Now, just because we're rabbit hunting, that doesn't mean that you can't use this device for stubborn dogs that want to run off and not come back until they want to. It's just intended for hunting, but certainly use it for other things. And even the stubbornest dog, I found, responds to this thing with no problem. I had what I called a damnation one time. It was one of those spotted black and white dogs. And I thought for a while that was the dumbest dog I ever saw in my life. But when I put that collar on him, he wised up real quick. And there's a good chance that it saved his life one time because he wanted to see what a diamondback rattlesnake looked like real up close. And I had him trained to the point where he would listen to voice commands whenever I said come here. He knew that if he didn't come, he was going to get hit. And all I had to do was simply say, Obi, no. And rattlesnake went his way and the dog went his way. And we went our way. I don't like rattlesnakes. Now we're going to do a little demonstration of how he responds to just the tone in his collar. Now he's going away from me out in the middle of the road where he don't need to be. So I'm going to call him back. I just hit the button. Here he comes right back. That didn't hurt him. It just made a tone in his collar. He knows that I didn't want him going that way. So here he is right back where he's supposed to be. Happy as he can be. So that's how not to lose your dog. Now I don't work for Garmin. I don't sell these things. I don't get any money off YouTube for making videos. So I have nothing to gain by making this other than helping people that may not know about it. It's going to cost you a little money. I think the setup that you saw in operation here is about $700, and that's not chump change, but that dog's my best friend, and he's worth more than that to me. So, in many ways, animals, dogs, horses, mules, they're kind of like little children. They get excited sometimes, and they don't really know when they're in danger. So I want to be able to go hunting with my dog or for a walk with my dog and let him run free up here where we can do that and not lose him. That time he got lost in a blizzard, I thought for sure I'd lost my dog for sure that time. I mean, the snow was coming down so fast that he couldn't smell his way home. Everything looked different. I don't know how they know, but they've got a built-in GPS, and he finally found his way home. But there I was for hours worrying that a coyote got him, or he was freezing to death out there by himself. So I went to Cabela's and bought the best dog tracker they've got. And as you can see, it works. And that's pretty much it. The problem with these gizmos, like a lot of new stuff, cameras, video recorders, televisions, is this thing does so much stuff that it comes with a manual that's that thick. But you don't really need to use all that. I mean, it's nice if you want to, but just learn how to call him back, figure out where he is. In worst case scenario, if he won't come back, then you can load up and go get him. Learning curve on this is pretty small, pretty short. you could probably get pretty good results in a day or two. And you start out by letting the dog go, keep him inside, of course. Hit him with the beep in his collar a couple of times as you're calling him, so he'll know that he's supposed to be coming to you. Of course, he's going to ignore that. And he's going to wonder what that tone in his collar is for a while. But when you hit him with that shock, it's just his natural instinct to get away from whatever's hurting him, and so he's going to come to you because that's where he feels safe. Then after a while, he'll learn. It won't take 1 or 2 shocks. And again, you set it down at the lowest level to get the results you want. And he'll learn that when you beep him, it's time to flip the screws and head home. Because if he doesn't, he's going to get us something he doesn't like. And that's pretty much how it works. So Scout's over there sniffing around that bush looking for a rabbit. I don't think we're going to get any today unless we find one on the way home. But I'm going to give you one more example of how just pushing the tone button, not shocking him, just pushing the tone, will get an immediate reaction out of him. All right, here comes the tone. And he flipped right around. There you have it. Now there's people that would say, if you don't want to lose your dog, you should keep him on a leash. Try telling that to him. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's not times when you should. If you've got a vicious dog, or if you live in a situation where you got a lot of cars and children and other things, then you've probably got leash laws, and I'm not saying you should not adhere to those. But we live kind of off the grid out here, and we can safely go up and down these roads looking for rabbits. I've never heard of a 18-pound beagle tearing anybody's throat out, so I don't think we've got any danger there. Main thing is, I just don't want him to get all excited and chase off after an elk or a deer and lose it. So, the system works. Take a little time to figure out how to use it and get the dog used to it, and might save your dog.